y'all? It's the one and only King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this is the Swiss Flames podcast. So last week, LeBron James tweeted out that he would love to see an NBA version of the NFL show Hard Knocks. And I believe that is a tremendous idea, and I really actually like that idea. And I actually believe that if the NBA were to incorporate a show like that its ratings will actually be higher than the NFL's ratings. And I have my reasons for that. But before we dive into that, I just want to remind you guys, please check out the website at www.swissflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SwissFlames, and definitely check out the Facebook page at Swiss Flames Podcast. Hit the like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about this idea of NBA having their own Hard Knocks. So I'm going to read the tweet from last week that LeBron tweeted out about it. Man, watching Hard Knocks, incredible show, man. Every time I watch it, I wish we had that as well, just for training camp / preseason 2. So fire with a whole bunch of fire emojis. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the show NFL Hard Knocks, you just got to kind of have an understanding that basically what the show does, each year they pick an NFL team to basically follow through the whole offseason process leading up into the regular season. So it's basically documenting, everything that's going on. They're, taking notes of the player profiles. They're letting you see inside views of how the inner workings of how teams are preparing for the upcoming season. You know what I'm saying? So it basically gives you a great inside look to whichever organization that they pick. And so it's definitely a great view. It's definitely just a different angle, and it was a great idea, and it's been pretty successful, and it's been going on for quite a while now. But with that said, the reason why I believe that this is a great idea and that it will tremendously do well with the NBA is just because of the fact that NBA players are more known, right? We see NBA players, they are more known. That's why NBA players get better deals as far as endorsement deals. They're more recognizable. Now you have some football players that have great personalities or just big time. Like everybody can recognize Tom Brady. OBJ is another one that's well recognizable. So there's some NFL players, but I can list NBA players on not so good teams and everybody knows how they look. You're more likely to recognize an NBA star player than an NFL star player. There are a few NFL star players I know for a fact I wouldn't recognize if I seen them. I could literally pass by them and wouldn't even notice them. Part of that is the NFL's branding, and the way they brand it has always been team oriented. The NFL is not as big as trying to push individual talent, right? That's always been the way they move. Where the NBA, there is no shame in the game, is always going to push the star. That's the way they market. So both leagues have two different styles of marketing their league. And that's part of why it unfolds the way it does. And then also football, when these players are playing, they wear helmets. So you're not constantly seeing their face like that. Whereas in the NBA, they're bright and center. You see their face all the time as they're playing. NBA players overall are just more recognizable than NFL players. And because they're more recognizable, there tends to be more of an emotional connection with NBA players. And notice when I'm saying this, I don't want guys to go to the extreme. Oh, what are you saying? That people can't connect with NFL? I'm not saying that they can't connect with NFL players. I'm just stating the obvious and the facts that NBA players are more recognizable. That's just facts. Everybody knows that. I would love to see an NBA Hard Knocks. And with LeBron kind of giving that idea out, my assumption would be if it does happen, and if it does someday happen soon, that the Lakers probably would be the franchise that they would want to lead off with. Just because of the history of the franchise, just because of how popular that team is. And they still have currently the face of the NBA, LeBron James. So if you break down, let's just say, even if you look at the Laker team this year, there's so much storylines You know what I mean? They're an old team. Some people say, you know, they're the retirement home. You know, they're old team. So you have that dynamic. You have the dynamic of a bunch of these guys who used to play for the Lakers coming back. You have that dynamic. You have a dynamic of, you know, Carmelo Anthony in his career still hasn't won a chip yet. So can they win a chip? Same thing with Russell Westbrook. He's done a lot in the league, but still hasn't won a chip. So you got that dynamic of some of these guys who are missing that from their portfolio. Then you have the LeBron James aspect of chasing Michael Jordan. Then you got Anthony Davis, where some people are starting to write him off like he's a scrub, when we all know Anthony Davis is that dude. But Anthony Davis is probably looking to have a strong bounce back season. So now you got that element. So the Lakers have a lot of storyline, and they would be a great team to lead off with. But even if it wasn't the Lakers, let me show you how powerful the NBA is with their stars. I'm just going to list who I feel like is the best player on a couple of teams. Maybe more than a couple. Kevin Durant. Trae Young. Steph Curry. Zion Williamson. Luka Doncic. Just those teams in particular, all those individual teams are in different levels in different places. But just saying the name of their star player, to me, already draws interest in that. Trae Young is a very popular player. Luka Doncic is a very popular player. Kevin Durant, a very popular player. Zion Williamson, a very popular player. And so whether you go for the team that has their best player who's been in the league for a while, or the best player that's only been in the league for a few years, you can see where there's definitely a lot of intrigue, definitely a lot of draw to that. And so I truly believe that if the NBA does a Hard Knocks, that it'd be well received. And I would like to see, definitely, I would like to see one. But let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Would you like to see the NBA do their own version of Hard Knocks? And if so, why? And with that said, it's your boy King Cal 516. I'm signing off, and this has been the Swiss Flames Podcast.